Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're gonna be looking at X-Men Gambit comic version by Medicom toy MAFEX. Now, as I said before, growing up back in the 90s, I was a big fan of the X-Men animated show. I watched it, I felt like it's much more serious than any other cartoon that I watched at that point. And I loved the design of Gambit. He looked always cool to me and had a great ability with his playing cards, you know. When I saw that MAFEX was releasing this figure and I watched the reviews, I was amazed at how great a job Medicom toy did on this figure. The sculpt is just beautiful, the paint is amazing, soft goods coat that has wires in it, the amount of accessories, the effects that you get with this figure, it's just through the roof, you know. The quality and the amount of stuff that you get in this set is unbelievable. And at the time when the figure came out, I thought that I'll never be able to get it, but fortunate for me, a few years later I was able to find this guy on eBay for a good price, for practically the same price that he was going for retail when the figure was released. And so I decided to go for it, because other than MAFEX Wolverine, the first version, the yellow suit that I still don't have in my collection, and that's my favorite version of Wolverine, I always wanted to have this guy, and so now I finally have him. And so today we're gonna take a closer look at how this guy turned out. The head sculpt looks beautiful. The shading that I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but it's amazing. The red eyes, the whole sculpt work, the mask, the way that it goes around the face, and the hair, the amount of details that they do on these figures is just beautiful. And I mean, it has to be beautiful, right? Because these figures are not cheap, so you expect a lot of details, great design, great quality, and great articulation. So we got all of that on this Gambit figure. And I mean, look at the amount of these sculpted details here on the chest, the muscles, and down on the legs. All of these details of the costume and knee pads and his boots, the glossiness, and down on the feet. And the coat, they did such a great job on the coat. There is a wire inside on both sides, and even down here across the whole bottom part of the jacket there is a wire, so you can play with it and move it in any way that you want, so that you can get that wind blowing effect while he's walking or while he's jumping. You can make the coat float in the air like this. I always love when a company does something like that. I'm not a fan of plastic robes, you know, because I love to pose my figures. So yeah, it's amazing the amount of posability and options that you get out of a soft goods cape or any type of cloak, jacket, whatever, when it's wired like this, you know. And we can take the coat off so that we can get a better look at the articulation of his arms. We have to remove his hands, and the coat slides without any problems. And so now we have jacketless Gambit. And I mean, look at the shine of this armor. It's beautiful. All of these sculpted details on the arms, the shine, and the muscles. I mean, everything looks really good. All of these muscles on the back. It just looks amazing. Now let's take a look at his accessories. He does come with an alternate head sculpt with a much more angry looking expression. They did such a great job here. There is even some shading in the hair, a lot of these sculpted details. Yeah, just a beautiful, beautiful job on both heads. Obviously we saw the jacket, right? So next up he comes with his staff, and it's a fairly simple design. It's a simple sculpt, and it has that metallic paint on it, so it looks really good even though it's a simple design. Then he comes with a great range of alternate hands. You get the fisted hands that are already on the figure, you get a pair of staff holding hands, you get a pair of hands that are meant to be used for holding cards. Then he comes with a pair of more relaxed hands, a pair of action hands that are meant to be used for when he's throwing something or for any kind of action dynamic pose. And then we have a pair of the same type of open hands, but this pair comes with these translucent pegs that are attached to them, and these are meant to be used for attaching the effects that he's coming with. And speaking of effects, he does come with a card that has this flame effect, and it's a great sculpt. Unfortunately, you don't see anything on the card. It's just a blank piece of plastic. It would be maybe even better if we got to see a few details of the design of the card, you know, but it is what it is. It's still a cool effect. We get two of these flame effects that are meant to be attached on both sides of his staff. Then we have another pair of cards that have flame effect, and again no details on the cards, and again sculpt looks really good. These flame effects with translucent plastic look really nice, and you can see that the sculpt has also a lot of these little details, so again a great job on these. And then we get two larger effects, and these are his card throwing effects with a trail that he's leaving when he's, you know, swinging his hand. Again, no details on cards, but that's okay. This is still an amazing effect. And then from that one we get to even a larger one. This is even bigger effect that has even more these sculpted flame effects on it, because when you compare, you see that this one is a bit more simple in comparison to this one, and it's a sturdy piece of plastic. There is no flex to it, and again, no details on the cards, but a lot of beautiful sculpted details on the flame effect. You can play with the perspective. That's great for toy photography, you know. As all other MAFEX figures, you do get this certifying genuine product piece of paper that confirms that this is the original figure, not a bootleg. And then he also comes with a stand that you have to assemble, and it's a standard MAFEX stand, but it also comes with a plastic piece that can be used as a stand for holding the weight of these drawing cards effects, because these are some heavy effects for those MAFEX wrists, you know. So they took all of that into consideration and gave you practically everything that you need with this Gambit figure. So now let's take a look at his articulation. His head is on a ball peg and has a great range of movement. He can look down this much, up this much, tilt from side to side, rotate 360, so a great range of movement in the head. We have a butterfly joint that can give us this much forward. He can cross his arms across his body and to the back. Just a great movement, a great body type that MAFEX uses for this one. His arms can give us more than a T-pose. They rotate 360. We have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbow that gives us this much, and this is a great range. And then on his wrists, these are the usual MAFEX wrists that can rotate in any direction that you want, depending on how you turn the ball peg. And I love the way that MAFEX does their wrists. In the torso there is a cut up here, so you can move him a little bit side to side. There is a little bit of crunch forward, a bit better back, and of course you can move it side to side, but there is another cut down here that also moves side to side. Together with the upper part of the chest you can get a crunch forward this much and then back this much, and this is just crazy. This is amazing. This is like Spider-Man movement, you know. He has a drop down hips, a thigh swivel, the leg moves forward this much, back this much, double bend in the knee gives us this much, no boot cut, but there is a cut that swivels down here in the foot, and the feet move forward this much, back this much, there is a toe joint, and we have a great ankle pivot and no peg holes at the bottom of the feet. Let's now compare our Gambit here with some other figures. First off, here he is with MAFEX X-Force Wolverine and MAFEX comic version Storm. And you can see that these three go great together. Here he is with Marvel Legends House of X Wolverine and Marvel Legends movie Deadpool. Here he is with McFarlane Toys movie Superman and McFarlane Toys Battle Damage Batman. Here he is with Star Wars The Black Series Imperial Stormtrooper and Star Wars The Black Series Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. And finally, here he is with Bandai model kit Darth Vader with custom soft goods and the SH Figure Arts Jedi Luke Skywalker. So all in all, this is a beautiful MAFEX figure. I would say one of the best action figures that they ever made. I mean, I'm biased. I love the way that this Gambit turned out. As I said, I'm a fan of the 90s X-Men animated show, and I'm so glad that I was able to find this guy for a retail price, because you get so much stuff in this set. A beautiful figure with a great articulation, great paint, great sculpt, soft goods, wired jacket, tons of accessories. Yeah, it's just a beautiful figure that stands out on the shelf. Now I would like to hear you guys. What do you think about this MAFEX Gambit? Do you have it? Do you plan on getting him? What do you think about the figure? And what do you think about the price of these MAFEX figures? Let me know down in the comments. But that's all I wanted to say for this video. Thank you all for watching, thank you for being here with me, and I'll see ya in the next video.